I showed off a few of the games where I used Shedinja in a qualifying tournament. I was really proud of that thumbnail, by the way. For those of you who don't know, it's based off a comic book cover. I'm not good at Photoshop, but I was like, I think this looks like the thing. And I thought it was nice. But anyways, the tournament structure, it's like the equivalent of like a VGC Premier Challenge. So I qualified for the top 4 right now, so there's 4 of us left. I'm not going to scroll down because that'll give away who won. But yeah, so here are the top 4 games. I'm going to show off the team a little bit. I didn't make this. I got it off of my BSPL teammate, Black Mareep, who is very good at Sword and Shield BSS. They said that they didn't fully make it, they just took a team and adapted it, but you know, I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, they made it. Yeah, it's, you know, pretty standard Zacian, boss Yveltal, physically defensive lander. It's basically max defense. It has a funny IV in speed, which I don't know what it did, but it had it. Life Orb Kyogre, the boy himself, and then just Sash Calyrex. Mostly I just used Yveltal, Shedinja, and then one other Pokemon. Because honestly, I think Yveltal's like the strongest Pokemon in a lot of restricted metas. Like, even with Zacian kicking about, I think Yveltal is like the best. Because everything's so hard tailored to beating Zacian, and Yveltal just steamrolls through so much stuff. And I think it's very hard to counter both, really. Just because Dark Aura is so strong. Dark Aura makes it as strong as Regieleki, which is quite cool. But way, way, way bulkier, and a much better type for just spamming. So anyways, here's the games. So if anyone's watched any of my other limited videos, I guess, this was my first opponent in Series 13 in the Masters tournament. So this is cool. So this is a rematch, basically. So the first person I ever played Series 13 versus is my top 4 opponent. So that's quite a nice redemption arc for you. They have kind of a cool team. It doesn't like Yveltal at all. Because I'm physical, that makes Kyogre easier to deal with. If I catch Zacian out of position, it doesn't like foul play. Marshadow, similarly, will be 2-hit KO'd. Melmetal's really the only problem thing for it. And Melmetal doesn't like Kyogre, or Landorus, or Calyrex, or Shedinja. So I don't really see them bringing it. In game 1, I decide to lead with Yveltal, bring in the back Calyrex and also Shedinja. They have the Necrozma, but they have so many things that are just walled by Shedinja. I figured it was probably a good idea. So I lead boss Yveltal into literally the best lead imaginable, Calyrex. So I'm like, well, this is the easiest Sucker Punch of my not Sucker Punch, foul play of my life, because they literally do not have a switch in. And they go into Zacian, which if you've got no bulk Zacian, it is not a switch in. So that's a 2-hit KO, and because I'm Scarf, I'm pretty confident in just staying in. So I get the next hit off and it goes down. And at this point in time, I'm pretty sure the game is just over. I max Yveltal to kind of give myself a bit more bulk versus Marshadow, because if they go for max Rockfall, which I know some of them run, it could be an issue for me. And it also kind of keeps my speed up for it eventually when max runs out, if they do go for the Rock Tomb, which they ended up going for. So they Rock Tomb first, hoping to, I guess, catch me, but it doesn't do enough. And then because of the way Rock Tomb scales with Technician versus max, it doesn't do nearly enough as a max Pokemon, and Yveltal just gets to +1 speed, and the game is pretty much over. Boss Yveltal just sweeps. Because Calyrex, we've seen Sash on Marshadow, so there's no way Calyrex has Sash. And yeah, Yveltal just knocks it out, because I'm faster now. So pretty clean and decisive game 1. So game 2, I'm thinking about how to kind of change things up a little bit. I don't really want to change things up too much. I still think I want to keep Yveltal and I want to keep Calyrex. Yveltal just matches up so well into their team, especially considering now we know it's no bulk Zacian, right? So like the fact that I 2-hit KO and outspeed is pretty nuts. Obviously you can see the matchup benefit versus Necrozma, and because it's not Sash Calyrex, it's just O-Code, and Marshadow again can't really beat Yveltal. The no Sash on Calyrex as well means that my Calyrex always beats it, so even if they win the speed tie, I still can knock them out. And it gives me something into Melmetal, which is quite, you know, physically bulky but not especially bulky. and Necrozma, which similarly run physical bulk instead of special bulk. The only thing I'm not really certain on at the moment is, do I want Landorus or do I want Shedinja? So I went Shedinja last time, but they brought dual Ghost, which kind of spooks me a little bit. So after a bit of and on, I decided to bring Landorus this game, just because it gives me a switch into Marshadow. So like if I switch them to Marshadow, they take, you know, Rocky Helmet damage, and then all of a sudden it loses to Yveltal and Calyrex without much of a problem. So I decided to go for the if it's not broke, don't fix it approach and lead boss Yveltal again. And this time they go with the Kyogre lead. And so Kyogre is typically quite a good lead into Yveltal, or quite a good mon into Yveltal in general when it comes to like 3v3 Dynamax formats. Because typically Yveltal are special, and Kyogre is obviously very specially bulky, and then double its HP and it's way stronger. So it's not uncommon for Kyogre to be used as an answer to Yveltal, which is why Shedinja is such a good kind of partner for it. But because I'm physical Yveltal, I know that if I max, I always kind of win this exchange. So I just decide to just go for it, because once Kyogre is kind of gone, there's not really a lot they can do to stop my kind of Landorus and Calyrex. They find out their Scarf, which means there's no bulk. I get a huge crit, which means I get an extra turn off with Yveltal, which is pretty big, because now there's not really a lot they can do. I decided here not to actually bother hitting Zacian and just go for the hard switch into my Landorus. I don't need the max anymore. The Kyogre was gone. Like, that's the only thing I needed to max for. And Landorus, because I'm max defense, is free hit KO'd. So here, I kind of pause for a little bit, because I'm like, what's the best kind of course of action here? I contemplate for a while, because I know I get one hit off, right, providing Zacian doesn't crit me. So I kind of contemplate, do I want to set up rocks, or do I want to just kill the Zacian? Because if I set up rocks, I can maybe get a Calyrex sweep going, because then, you know, presumably after 2 hits from Rocky Helmet, Zacian is in Astral Barrage range. And then if I've got rocks up, Marshadow Sash doesn't matter. But I figure that it's just safer to KO the Zacian, because then I've got like a 3-on-1 situation going, and like they'd have to, if they've got Calyrex, then it's over, right? Because I've got my Sash and I've got Yveltal. And if they've got anything else, they have to burn the max turn on Lando. So they've got 3 hits as max when they need 4, because they need to hit Landorus, they need to hit Yveltal, and they need to hit Calyrex twice. So I figured like that's kind of my best kind of my best way, because like I don't know, I'm already up a game, and it didn't really seem necessary to kind of let Zacian kind of keep going. Plus, if they tried to get fancy and try and hard switch, the earthquake damage into everything would literally be better than rocks most of the time. So they take the chip down. This, I mean, definitely puts them in earthquake range, because obviously I've not got any attack investment. And then Marshadow comes in. Marshadow isn't really a problem at the moment, because it can't boost its speed. So they go for the knuckle, which is smart, because it gives them the best chance of Okoing Yveltal, and they don't know what I have in the back that's not Yveltal. Like, obviously they only saw one Pokemon in game 1, so they don't know what I'm bringing, and you know, it's just the best kind of way to set them up. They know that they're guaranteed to get at least one of our attack off, so that attack might as well be as strong as possible. So I just kind of go back into Yveltal here. I'm gonna pause again and explain a little bit more. But I go into here because I'm like, well, it's +1 attack, I'm gonna get loads of damage off. I wasn't doing calcs while this game was going on. I think the smarter thing to do would have been go Calyrex, because I didn't know the Marshadow's move pool. Although, because I just made an assumption, right? Because I saw Rock Tomb, so I was like, okay, well, it's Close Combat, Spectral Thief, Shadow Sneak, and Rock Tomb, right? That's the standard 4. But there is obviously the possibility that, you know, they don't have Shadow Sneak, or they don't have Close Combat, or, well, I mean, obviously they've got a fighting move, but like, they don't have Shadow Sneak maybe, and they have like Taunt. or something. So I think the smarter thing to do in hindsight would have been gone Calyrex, because by going into Yveltal, I mean, all of it, like, this is you know, semantics, it doesn't really matter, but like by going into Yveltal, as you'll see, I bait the max rockfall, which is whatever. But it means if for whatever reason they didn't have like Spectral Thief and they did have Shadow Sneak, then they could, you know, max guard and then Shadow Sneak and my sash is broken. And you know, it's nonsense to worry about it, but it was still a little bit safer to go into Yveltal. But either way, I go into Calyrex and just land a knockout, and you know, that's it. Marshadow's dead because it couldn't max guard. It doesn't have priority when it's maxed. So Calyrex always outspeeds, gets a knockout because it's already low health. I'm pretty sure Calyrex could possibly Oko it maxed from full, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it does about 70%. I don't know. But yeah, so that's me one top 4. I'm into the finals, which is pretty neat. I do not plan on changing teams because the format is over. And this is the only team in Season 13 that I've enjoyed. And I really enjoyed it. I think it's one of the best teams I've ever used in 3v3 Battle Stadium. But yeah, I'm probably going to get the final out tomorrow. I want it out before Scarlet and Violet come out, because then nobody's going to care.